Hey everybody, it's Dina Rigo with the Creativity Cave, and I have two awesome cards to share with you today. They are some alternative ideas that I created using my paper pumpkin kit from this month. So let me show you what this kit looks like. It's really fun to get a kit like this each month. So our kit this month has a stamp set, and it's called The World's Greatest, and you can see there's a little ribbon, and pin and a bunch of different sentiments that you can use. There's a Pacific Point ink spot, some ribbon for the projects. Here's information about next month's paper pumpkin kit, which doesn't this look fun? I'm excited about it. And then everything is wrapped up so pretty in here, and your kit looks like this. So what comes in your kit is all the supplies needed to create projects, and there's typically 6 to 12 projects in each kit. So this month there's 9 cards that you can create with coordinating envelopes, which are just always so fun. I love coordinating envelopes. And our kit is going to create a shaker card as well as where did my directions go? As well as, oh, they're on the back side of this. I do this every month. I can never find the instructions because they kind of like stick to the cardboard. Anyway, so you can see there's 3 types of cards that are created, including the shaker. And at the end of this video, I will actually make these cards, but I wanted to show you my alternatives first because I know a lot of people don't necessarily need to see the directions for the cards in the kit, but I know some people like to see how they're made. So anyway, we're going to do our alternatives first, and then I'll do the actual projects second. So I'm going to start with a piece of, or one of the card bases. And if you wanted to kind of get a little bit more use out of your kit, you could cut off this piece and use a white card base and just adhere the front of this to a white card base. Does that make sense? So you would get 2 pieces out of this pretty print. It's up to you with how you want to do that. So I'm just going to fold my card. And then included is this pretty little die cut rectangle that has some of that fun watercoloring look on it. Now there's some of this beautiful blue ribbon, so we're going to attach some of that to our card. So I'll take my Stampin' Seal and run a strip along the center. And I'm just going to position this right on here, and then I will trim the excess. Oops. And I can kind of use the pattern to guide my ribbon across so it's nice and straight. And then, like I said, I'll just trim this off and trim that end off as well. So very nice start. Then I will adhere this piece to my card like so, and that looks fantastic. Now I've die cut a little label. This is from the Tasteful Labels dies. This is one of my favorite set of dies. This came out about 2 months ago, and I just die cut this label, and I'm going to use another stamp set to stamp on here. This is a set actually I've been itching to pull out. I hadn't used it in a little while, and it's one of my favorites. It's called To a Wild Rose. Okay, I found it. This also has some coordinating dies that are available to purchase, and I always like having those coordination pieces. It's a great, great stamp set. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is take my beautiful bloom stamp right here, and I'm going to ink this up in some Pacific Point because that coordinates with my card base, and I'm going to stamp it off once and twice, and then I'm going to stamp it right in the center of my label like that. And so it's a nice light shade of Pacific Point. And then the reason I actually chose this stamp set is I really wanted to use the word blessed. I just love that, and I love the font of it. So I'm going to stamp blessed right across that flower, this time in full strength ink, and look at how pretty that is. I'll set this aside, and I'm going to use a scrap of cardstock here, and in the To a Wild Rose stamp set is the sentiment to know you. So blessed to know you. So I'm going to stamp that in some crushed curry ink, and that coordinates along with our kit as well. And I'll just stamp that right down here on the edge. And I want to use my classic label punch to punch this out. And then I'm going to show you a little trick with this. So I'm going to center that right up. But I like the banner, not the pointy thing, right? So to get that, I'm just going to position this right in here and cut. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. And dun, dun, dun. How cool is that? Okay, so I'll take this piece and I'm going to pop it up onto my card. I'm going to close my ink pad up quick. All right, now to do that, I'll use a little edge piece from my dimensionals. This is a handy way to pop up a little strip of sentiment like this. And then we'll mount it right under the blessed. So really simple stamping, but so pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, now within our kit, we have some die cut pieces that go along with it. There's like tags and labels and shapes and different things. I'm going to use some of the vellum pieces that are included, and these are really cool. So these are like laser cut pieces. So I'll take a couple of these and I'm just going to position them behind my label punch that I just stamped on. And this just adds a really pretty touch to this. And when I was looking at the kit, I really liked it, but I wanted to add a little more feminine touch to go with these pretty vellum pieces because I love the look of them, like I said. And these are fun, kind of branchy, leafy things. So we're just going to adhere them like this. So I'll have it sticking out kind of like that. And then I'm going to take this one and flip it over, and then it will stick out like that. And then we'll position this right over the top. And if it sticks out too much, you can readjust it so that it's not out too far. I'm going to rip this a little bit. That's okay because it's all hidden. Okay, there we go. That looks great. And then we'll just pop this up right on top of that label. Or I'm sorry, right on top of the vellum. Now our last and well, two more steps left. We're going to embellish with a little bit of clear Wink of Stella. That's one of my favorite things to add to a card. And to do that, I'm going to spritz it, which just means that I'm going to smack it against my card. So I'll take this, and you just need something to smack it against, and we'll do this. And you can see there's all kinds of shimmer on here. Now, isn't that pretty? So there we go. There's our first card. Now our second card, I wanted something a little bit more fun that I could use maybe for my son or for even my team members. I like to give my team members cards to celebrate their achievements and their businesses. So here is my second project. Now we're going to kind of change up the colors a bit here. So I'm going to start with a piece of 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to use kind of a fun little color combination. I like this because it's kind of gender neutral. I've got Mango Melody, Granny Apple Green, and Bermuda Bay. And there's a number 1 stamp in this set, and I wanted to take that and just kind of randomly stamp that all over my background here. And you can see I'm flipping it all around, upside down, right side up, etc. I'll give this a quick clean, and then we'll switch colors. So next I will do Granny Apple Green, and again same thing, just moving it around. Oh my goodness, I'm getting so much ink on my block. Okay, that looks good. And of course, finally, we'll end with our, I really got to get this clean. I think I probably should have put that on a smaller block. Mango Melody, pardon me. And you can see I'm doing about 2/3 of the card roughly. We'll just fill that in with our number 1s, and you can see it's really easy to just fill up that space. Okay. All right. Next, oops, I need this one still. Another one of the sentiments in our little paper pumpkin kit says, this calls for a celebration, which I love. That's a great sentiment. And I'm going to pull my scrap piece of cardstock out, and we're going to stamp this over here like so. And punch this out with, this is the Timeless Label Punch. And I'm going to punch it so that there's a little bit of room towards the bottom, so I can do a little bit of embellishing on this tag. So there we go. I left a little extra room at the bottom. And in our kit, there are 2 things that I'm going to use to embellish this. First, there are the star sequins that are here to use that, make that shaker card we'll make here at the end. And then there's also a little sheet of glue dots. And these are kind of tiny dots. They can be a little smaller than our regular mini glue dots, which I like. And so they're perfect for adhering to some of these sequins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on here, and I'll put the center one down first. I'm going to put 5 in a row. So then I'll do 1 on either side, and then again, 1 on either side. So I've got 5 pretty evenly spaced dots. Additionally, I'm going to pull these off. Oops. And then take your pick tool and place the stars right on here. This take your pick tool is such a handy tool for things like this. Okay. Next, I'll take a little bit of ribbon and add that across here. Actually, first I'm going to adhere this. So I used my Mango Melody ink, and so I'll adhere this to a Mango Melody layer of cardstock. And then I'm going to take some Bumblebee ribbon and put that across. And while this isn't an exact match, it works pretty well. So we'll just go a little bit longer than our panel and put our glue dots on here. I could use the dots in the kit, but sometimes it's just easier to use these. And in this case, I like the fact that you can see they're just a little bit bigger than those original ones. Okay, so I'll kind of, I was going to say strap this across here. That might be a little aggressive. But we'll stick this across like so, and then that kind of tidies up the border between the stamped area and the white. All right, and then in our kit, there's some gold pieces that are die cut. Let me just pull those out, and I will take one of the seals from this and adhere it to the back side of my label. And so that looks kind of nice as well. Okay. And finally, we'll just pop this right up over our ribbon. And there are dimensionals that came in your kit, so you can use those. I just happen to have a sheet that's already kind of in progress here. So I'll just place this right over the top, and then we'll add it to a Bermuda Bay card base. So really fun card. You could actually add some spritzing to this if you wanted, or whatever to make a really cute project. And actually, that reminds me, I forgot one thing on my blessed card I needed to add, and that was a little dimension. So let me show you. Oh, and actually, I'm going to pop this layer up too. Like so. Okay. And on my blessed card, I'm going to take one more touch. I didn't think that the gold sequins was quite the right thing for this. So instead, what I'm going to do is add some of these gold or gilded gems that are from our annual catalog. So I'll just position a few of those on here, and that looks fantastic. Isn't that pretty? Okay, now let's make the cards that actually are intended for this kit. So to do that, I've pulled the pieces aside. Let me just get my cards I just made out of the way. Now for these, each card has some supplies that you'll need, so I've kind of prepared those. I've pulled out the die cuts and different things. So we're going to start with this card. We've got this pretty little argyle card, printed card base. And just like before, if you wanted to get a little more use out of this, you could cut this hat off and then just adhere this piece to a white card base. I'll just make them as they come though. So here we go. I actually received a couple paper pumpkin kits. I like using these cards for different things in my business, and so they come in handy. Now we also needed to cut a 3-inch strip of this ribbon, and what's really handy is in the directions, there's a ruler right there for you to use, which I love. Okay, so I'm going to fold this ribbon in half, okay, and then I'm going to cut from the fold to the points like that, and that gives me a banner. How's that for handy dandy? Whenever I learned that trick many years ago, I remember being like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So there we go. So there's our banner. We'll adhere that to this in just a moment. Actually, we'll do that right now. Like so. We're just going to adhere it right down here. And I'm just following the photos in my kit for this. Okay, and then this whole panel is going to get popped up onto this card. So we'll put some dimensionals. And like I said, there's dimensionals in the kit, but I haven't pulled them out to use yet. I'll show you why in just a second, actually. Okay, and then we've got the big trophy, which I love. Very fun. Okay, so on here, we're going to take the trophy and we'll mount the vellum pieces to the back side. And so this is kind of like, they're going to go on kind of like that. And so, well, maybe we'll have them curve a little bit more in. And I'm going to adhere them. Actually, I could use those dots. Well, I'll throw a couple dots on here. And this, like I said, will just fit kind of behind our trophy. I'm thinking like, don't they have a swag that you get when your horse wins the Kentucky Derby? Like, right? That's a thing. I'm so cultured. You're welcome. Okay, now on here, we can stamp the sentiment, which I thought I had mounted. Okay, so we'll stamp the sentiment, World's Greatest, onto our trophy with our, ooh, I almost inked the wrong side of that block. That would have been bad. With our Pacific Point ink right there. And then we'll pop this up on top of our card. And oh, I just love this. It's so cute. And then we'll add this cute little strip right here so we can add one of the sentiments. So they have friend, teacher, kid, coach. I love the coach. That's handy. I pulled out friend because I actually know exactly who I'm going to send this to. I have a good friend of mine is coming to help me out today, and I'm so grateful to her. And she is the world's greatest friend because she basically is dropping everything to come help me get the rest of my classes out for this month. All right. So I'm going to pop this up and just place it right down here over that spot on the trophy. And there's our first card. So really simple. Our next card is going to feature the little ribbon. And so we'll take this card base and we'll add this. Oh, and actually, sorry, there's one more thing we needed to do on here, and that is add those cute little stars. So I want to use my little glue dots that came in my kit. Oh, I keep setting them out of the way and then I can't find them. So I'll position a few of these on here and we'll just sprinkle some stars onto our card because it's fun to add those. I think, you know, it's kind of perfect for this kit to add a few of those. Actually, I think I'll stick with the 3. All right, so we'll just pop off. I love the little poking part of my Take Your Pick tool is perfect for getting that little adhesive off. And then we'll just stick those in place. And oh, doesn't that add a nice little, just a little sparkle to my card. I also noticed that I didn't poke out this part in my die cut. So once again, my Take Your Pick tool comes to the rescue and fixes that for me. Da-da. Okay. Next, we're going to do this card. Also, another simple card. We've got a little die cut circle that's going to fit over our seal. And then this rectangular shape, we're going to stamp the ribbon. So for that, I will take my ribbon and I want to stamp this nice and high on the top of this. Like so. Oh, that looks fantastic. And then I'm going to add my sentiment, which is you deserve a medal. Hello, perfect. I could also send this to my friend who's coming to help me. Maybe I should give her both of these cards. And then this will just get adhered right on top, which I just love. So we'll add that piece. And then I will stick this piece right on here. Okay, now we're going to use another die cut piece once again, and we're going to add some of our little vellum branchy things. Those are the official terms. Now I'm just going to put a piece of, or run a strip of adhesive down and then put this on like so. Okay. So we'll pop that up right over the top like so, and then we'll adhere this to our card. And then we're going to embellish with a few of those gold stars on here as well. I mean, everybody needs a gold star, right? Of course they do. So once again, I'll pull this out. Now next up, oh, that was a dot. I thought that was just like a little backing. Okay, next up, we'll just add, I've got 4, I need 5. You can't just do 4. Okay. We'll add our little stars. And then next up, we're going to do our shaker card, which I'm really excited about. And it looks like they've made it super easy for us. So that is always exciting. I haven't done a shaker card in a while. I don't know why I like doing them. They're fun. And we've got, oops, just the right things to make it easy. So, oh, isn't that cute? I really like that. So let's finish up with our shaker. Now for this card, what we're going to do is start with our Whisper White base, or our white base, I guess I should say. And then we're going to add to it the foam frame. So you get 3 foam frames in your kit, but here's a little suggestion for you. One of them comes with the dimensionals, and I mentioned them before, but I'm not using them. Well, here's what I recommend doing. Keep the dimensionals in there. Leave the backing on the dimensional part, of course. So you're just peeling the frame piece off. And then you can position this, and that sort of holds the shape of your frame so that it's a little easier to put down. Now, of course, you did not adhere the dimensional portion of this sheet, so just lift it back up, and then you can stick this in the other 2 when you go to use them. So see how nice that was? Because then it didn't get off all kilter or get flopsy on you, so it all worked out. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to take and put some of our little stars in here. So we'll just dump some in. Ooh, that might have been more than I wanted. I'll put a few back because we do have 3 of these to make, so I want to make sure I have enough left over. Okay, so there we go. Now I will peel this backing off like so, and then I'm going to adhere this piece to the front, the frame. Okay, and this should line up pretty closely with your card. So there we go. That's pretty simple. And I'm doing, oh, and you know what? Totally messed that up. Let's see if I can get it off. I think I can. Yeah, you got to put the window sheet down first. Duh. I was so excited about my tips for putting it down. Yeah, and I think I might have just ruined this. I will figure out a way to solve this problem. Okay, so this one's not going to be a shaker card, but the next one will be. Also, I'm going to leave this in the video because I think it's good to see my mess up, and then I'll help you fix it. Okay, so let me get another card base and another frame. Okay, so let's go through that process once again. We'll put this in here. All right, I'm going to give this a crease so it sits flat. There we go, that's good. We'll pull the backing off just of the frame, not the sheet of dimensionals. And we'll put this, oops, on like so. Okay, again, we'll pull that out. Now, this is a really important step. Before you stick the frame on, you want to put the window sheet down so that your shaker card will indeed shake. Okay. So, we'll pull those out. All right, now, before we do anything else, let's put our shaker card on here. Now, I have to tell you a funny story. I dropped these on the floor. And so, of course, every little piece of lint stuck to it. There's a little static electricity happening, as you can see. Okay, now look at that. I got it down, so we're good to go there. Then we'll add our frame over the top. And then I'll still be able to use my other card, just maybe change it up. And look at how fun that is. Okay, so let's finish decorating this. Okay, so we've got this die cut circle, and then we also have a white circle. And then we have 2 pieces of ribbon that are 3 inches, and then 2 pieces of gold banners. So just like before, we'll take our ribbon, do the fold in half and cut trick to get those nice banner ends. Again, from the fold to the points. So once again, the fold to the points. Oh, perfect every time. I love that. All right, and I'm just going to adhere this up here. That way we're kind of ready to go. And then I will adhere my 2 ribbon pieces like so on here, as well as my 2 gold pieces. And look at how awesome those look. You want to make sure that they're up enough that your little white die cut circle is going to cover the edge, you know, so that it's not like that. You want it to be covered. Okay, next we're going to take and stamp that ribbon in our Pacific Point ink right on here. And it's just the size of that circle, so it's pretty easy to get on there. Like that. Looks fantastic once again. And we'll just add that right to the top. And I'm going to put a good amount of adhesive on here just to make sure it sticks down exactly where I want it to be. Like that. All right. Now, the next thing we need to do is stamp "You're the Best" on one of our small circles, and then we'll adhere it to a gold seal, which I'm just grabbing here. Okay. "You're the best." Oh, so cute. Maybe I should give all of these cards to my friend Kelly. All right, and then we'll pop this up. So she's, bless her heart, she's driving here today to help me out from, she lives by where I used to live in Iowa, so nice. Okay, and look at that, it's just so cute. So who doesn't like a shaker card? So we've got 3 awesome projects from Paper Pumpkin. And don't forget the 3 coordinating envelopes that will go with each of these. I love when there's coordinating envelopes for things. It just makes everything look so polished. And then, of course, the 2 alternative suggestions I gave for your kid as well. So I hope you enjoyed all these projects and this video. Of course, I would love to be your demonstrator. If you are not currently a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, please consider subscribing through me. I provide you with 12 to 15 alternative project tutorials each month, and you can find all of the supplies that I used, as well as the links to subscribe, goodness, in the description of this blog, or this video below. Goodness. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, as well as check out a couple extra videos I think you might like here at the end. Thank you guys so much for stamping with me today, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.